This jit hit this dude with a lock, lock in the sock, but they put him on the canteen bags, and he hit this dude right in front of the officer station, so he crashed out. He hits this dude with a lock, bam, bam. The officer turns around. He's like, you ain't crashing out. So this kid stays in the dorm with this dude he hit, who dude's got life sentence. This kid goes to sleep on this dude, and he put so they had razor blades. They used to give you on shaving night, you give your razor blade, you got to give it back, but people take the blades and stuff. So this dude burned 3 or 4 blades into his toothbrush, and kid just sleeping. You just hit this dude with life with a lock, and he's laid up sleeping on him, and this dude and I mean his whole cheek open, and I never heard a human being make that noise, that scream ah!
It's good, man. It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast, where I talk about prison, pre, post, and present, how everything that I experienced throughout my incarceration has forever changed my life. This is the Incarceration.
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testo with multiple cases before the court.
Forever Convict family, listen, we are on a journey to 50,000 subs. We are over halfway there. So if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Share this channel with anybody who enjoys prison content. And if you don't know my story, I've done over 12 years in prison. And all throughout my incarceration on this channel, I share the crazy, funny, goofy, weird prison stories, as well as interviewing other convicts and sharing their stories as well. But most importantly, we highlight the redemptive stories of convicts coming home, leaving their past lifestyle of crime, and now living successfully in society.
When I first went to prison the first time, I remember going to the chow hall, and the first meal was this sausage with a baked potato with cheese and chili. It was fire. It was good. I was like, oh, okay. I go to breakfast, it's 2 hard-boiled eggs. I think it was Sunday, big boy breakfast. I mean, biscuits, like your grandma made these biscuits. It was good. I was like, okay. And I got big in the chain gang. The only thing I didn't eat was liver in the chow hall, but the food was good, man. And as the bids, every bid I came back, it was the last 2 bids unedible. My last bid, I didn't even eat in the chow hall. Couldn't. It was all TVP, which is textured vegetable protein. It's fake meat. Ugh, like dog food, yolk wasabi, it was just unedible. It's sad, man. I don't know, it just deteriorated. The canteen prices went up. It was crazy, man.
So what else about that last prison bid? Any crazy memories, memorable moments?
Oh man, that was when the Tunchi was just, used to be. You go to prison and it was mandatory rec. My rec was mandatory anyways. I went out there and gotten free in nature. I listened to my GPX, my headphones or whatever, walked the track. Now, because of the COVID, it was no rec, no nothing. So everyone's in the dorm all the time, and it's just pressure cooker, Everyone's in there and they're smoking Tunchi and they're getting high and they're twacking out and they're gooking and they're taking Molly, which is I think meth. I don't know what they're taking. They're all paranoid, and man, it was just nuts, man. And the guards are so they don't even care, It was just ratchet. It was sad, man. It was dark place. My last bid.
All right. So before we get into the redemption side of your story, what are probably some of the craziest things, if you can think of them, that you've ever seen in prison? What are some of the most traumatizing, craziest things? If someone was to ask you that you've seen in prison, what would they be?
Me, I had never really been around gay people, right? And I'm you like what you like, but I really seeing that in prison, a man look at another man with love, how you look at your woman, you love that look in their eyes, and just seeing a lot of that big thugs tatted out goals and they got these gay. I was seeing that. Moving to the dorms like that, it was pretty ratchet. I just seen people get stabbed bad. I mean, just one time I'm in an open bay dorm at I think at Mayo, and this jit hit this dude with a lock, lock in the sock, but they put him on the canteen bags, and he hit this dude right in front of the officer station, so he crashed out. He hits this dude with a lock, bam, bam. The officer turns around. He's like, you ain't crashing out. So this kid stays in the dorm with this dude he hit, who dude's got life sentence. This kid goes to sleep on this dude. And he put like, so they had razor blades. They used to give you like on shaving night, you know, you give your razor blade, you got to give it back, but people take the blades and stuff. So this dude burned like 3 or 4 blades into his toothbrush, and just kids just sleeping. You just hit this dude with life with a lock, and he's laid up sleeping on him, and this dude just, and I mean his whole cheek open, and I never heard a human being make that noise, that scream, like, ah, and I remember just like, one time I was in the open bay dorm, I'm sleeping, I wake up, so there's this black dude sleeping next to me, and this other dude's gunning the dude down. Gunning means jacking off. It's like, so usually they gun the officers down, right? The officer, a pretty woman in there, she's in the booth, she's an eater, you know what I'm saying? She's eating whatever. Eater means that she wants you to gun her down, that's like she's a voyeur, whatever, right? A lot of dudes, it's in their mind, they not eating, they're doing paperwork, but whatever they gotta live with, they got time. I try not to judge, you know? But this dude's gunning down a dude, and the dude woke up to him jacking off to him and just took off. You got taken off with a dude with a dick in his hand. It was just, it's real animalistic in there, bro. It's like, it's crazy the breakdown of society and like how people, you know, I've been an avid reader my whole life. I read when I was a kid. I love reading. In Chain Gang, I read thousands of books. I mean, from James Patterson to Stephen King. So I started reading autobiographies and self-help and spiritual books. And I mean, I read whatever I can get my hands on, I read, because a book is like a movie, you know, it just takes you out of there. I tried to always read, and I played a lot of poker. I worked out. I always try to stay busy, you know, but people don't, they do the time crazy ways. They let it get to them, man. They go crazy, man. I watch a lot of breakdown. Maybe they had mental illnesses before they went. I don't really know, you know, but it's crazy in there, man. It's a whole different world in there. And it's like your own little, it's like a little civilization in there. You got, you used to be, you go in the rec yard, you got a dude that's selling magazines. I used to get XXL, The Source, whatever. He got The King, you got every magazine. You got a dude selling locks, dude selling everything. Dude selling hats he done made. It's cold, they make gloves you wear in the rec yard. I mean, it's a real, like a civilization, you know, like everyone's getting trade is crazy, you know, someone's cleaning up, they got a dude that make beds, you got a dude making Jolly Pops. A Jolly Pop is like Jolly Ranchers. They take them and they melt them down and they make these little Jolly Ranchers with sugar. I mean, art, portraits, drawing portraits, some very talented people in the Chain Gang, you know. It's really sad. A lot of people got a bad, they got arrested for something they didn't do. I seen people in there for murder, and I talked to them. My friend Twin, he's got 25 years for trafficking, and it was his twin brother that did it, you know. It's like you see a lot of sad situations, and they're still persevering through it, and you see, there's a lot of crazy stuff in there, man.
So when did things begin to change for you, man? I also have a fire HBO style series chronologically going over my prison experience from day one, all throughout my 12 years in prison. But you got to become a member to this channel. If you're on desktop, that's the only way you can do it. If you're on a mobile phone, you got to do it through Safari, or you got to go to your internet app and become a member. Check out a brief clip right here. It's not directly addressing me. It's not directly addressing anybody. He's just saying it loudly about all the new people. And we weren't the only new people who came in that day. There's people who came in before us. But I'm thinking still he's going to be the one that tries me. So he goes and he sits down, and I'm sitting on the bench, and all of a sudden someone approaches me. I'm sitting on the outside of the bench, and someone stands right
you know, I never once got out of prison, never once, and was like, I'm never going back to prison. I never said that, because I got out doing the same shit. Every time I did the same thing. I'm back to selling drugs. I wasn't like, I can't wait to go back. You know what I'm saying? But like, I knew I was going back. I was doing the same stuff. And so this last bit I got out in 21, I got out from Liberty. I had CRD, but I had like 2 months CRD, and I changed my address. I moved, they violated me. I just didn't do it in the county jail. I got out then, and my youngest daughter, she just turned 14. She was with her mom. Her mom was on drugs, so I got a call one night from DCF saying, we removed your daughter from the situation she was in. We're bringing her to you. We're gonna bring everyone in the house, got to get drug tested. She got to have her own room. And I was selling loud. I was selling pounds. I was taking Xanax. I was drinking. But God works crazy ways. I couldn't get no Xanax for like a week. And I had my medical marijuana card, so I knew I could pass a piss test. And anyways, they brought her to me. I had my daughter for like a month, and you know, I wasn't living right. I was selling weed. And so they came back and they're like, we want to reunite her with the mom, you know, this is her first time an offending parent. I was like, absolutely not. Mind you, my daughter came, when they brought her, she had 2 black eyes, 10 years old, bro. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, oh, I'm allergic to cats, and I was at the house, and the cats, I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm like, that's not what happened, you know? Now I'm in this predicament where like, you don't want to press too hard. Like, what happened? You got to be honest with that. But it was a weird situation, right? So obviously I'm like, I'm not letting her go back with her mom. And the cop was like, look, I'm gonna be real with you, you know, you don't have to let her back with her mom, you know, but if you keep her, DCF or CPF or whatever it's called, Child Protective Services, CPS, they're gonna be over you with a fine-tooth comb. So unless you own this house, you have a job, you pay your taxes, this and that. He's like, but I would, you know, if you work with them, they'll work with you. So I let her back with her mom, and within a week she failed drug tests. So this time they took her, and they didn't give her to me. They took her in the state. And so I had a case plan. And
you didn't know, I am a rapper. My artist name is EI the King. Check out my music on all streaming platforms. Go to my other YouTube channel, EI the King. Check out my music videos. And I'm also releasing a documentary all year. It's really a docu-series. And every Wednesday, I drop a new video. As we've been documenting my transition home from prison and society, from the day of my release, we had a film crew at the gate just documenting my transition home from prison, now in society. Check it out on one of these links above.